Guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to like the video if you find it useful, and don't forget to subscribe. So today I'll be showing you how to make the customized keychain. The video you saw at the beginning, I actually used a velvet yarn which looks like this. It's quite thin. And yeah, I used one strand. This was what I used. That's why you saw it looks so soft and lush, you get. But for this tutorial, I'll be using this yarn. I think it's a 3-ply. It's a 4-ply yarn. Let me see what we have here. Okay, it's a 5-ply yarn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 5-ply yarn, but the thing is you can use any yarn you have, like any yarn basically. Depends on how big or small the size you want your keychain to be. So I'll be using this. You'll be needing some fiber stuffing to stuff your keychain. We'll be needing a 3 mm hook, stitch markers to be marking our stitches because we'll be working in spiral, we are not joining. We'll be needing a tapestry needle to close our ends. We'll be needing a keychain, the key holder to attach to your project. We'll be needing this, anyone you can find, but this is what I'm using. I'll be using this. I can't remember the name. The only thing it's doing is for me to open this and attach to my work, to open this up. So if you can use your hand, if you can use your teeth, but make sure you don't wound yourself. Anything you can use just to open up the tip of your key holder to attach to your project. Please go ahead and use it. And yeah, for the video, the short one you saw at the beginning of the video, this was what I used. It's my customized sticker. Yeah, can you see that? It's a sticker. This was what I used when I finished my project. But don't worry if you don't have, you can use any paper. This paper that comes with your yarn. Yeah, just like this. You can take this out, use for the customization. Any paper yarn, any paper that comes with your yarn, you can easily cut it out and attach it and just add it to your project. Don't worry, when we get there I'll put you through. So yeah, let's get started to the video. Thank you. Yeah, so to start, we are using our 3 mm hook, don't forget. So it depends on how big or small you want. You can actually use any hook, but this is the hook I've been using for all the keychains I'm doing. This very keychain, this very particular one, this is the hook I've been using, which is 3 mm. Okay, I think we can say that 3 mm hook. So we'll be starting with a magic ring. Very easy to do. You can use chain 3 then join to the beginning, but I prefer magic ring because it gives this perfect round tip at the distance. I prefer it. You can close up your hole. You close it up perfectly well. So I prefer using my magic ring. So let's go ahead with that. Wrap your yarn around. I'll be using these 2 fingers. So wrap your yarn around it like this. You can see I have it crossed like this, then turn. This is what I have. So I'll be picking my hook and I'll be passing it, and I'll be picking the one at the back. Can you see that? Then I'll bring it out. So I'll gently remove my finger. This is what I have. Then I'll chain 1 to secure my circle. Yeah, so we have our circle already. So this is what we have. So you can see, you can easily close it up. So inside this magic ring, we'll be making 6 single crochets inside. So to start, this is how you make your single crochet in case you're a beginner. We go inside our ring, pull up a loop. We have 2 loops on our hook. we yarn over, pull through 2. That's our first single crochet. Do that again, pull out a loop, we have 2, pull through 2, that's the second. We do it again, pull out a loop, pull through 2, that's the third. So go ahead and make your 6 single crochets. Yeah, I have my 6 single crochets right in the circle. Yeah, just like that. So this is the end of my circle, so I'll just pull gently like that to close it up. Like I said, that's why I prefer this magic ring. My hole is completely covered, like closed. So like I said earlier, we are not going to be joining. We'll be working in spiral. So that's where our stitch marker comes in. But for me, I find this stitch marker, I find it quite stressful. Sorry. But if you are used to it, please go ahead. So I'll be using this different yarn just to mark my stitch. I find it quite easy to do. So I'll be putting that in my first stitch. Okay, let me go ahead. The next thing we are doing is this. We are making an increase. It's an increase row. We'll be making 2 single crochets in each stitch. That means at the end of this row, we'll be having 12 single crochets. Initially, this one, like this first row, we have 6. So we'll be putting 2 inside each stitches. So at the end, we'll be having 12. So let's go ahead. I'll make my first one. This is my first single crochet. So I'll go ahead, make my single crochet just like that. So I'm going to mark this stitch. So if you are using your stitch marker, you just go ahead and mark this. But I'll be using this colored yarn. So I'll just do this. I find it very, very easy. At the end of my project, I'll just pull it out. You see how I do that at the end of the project. So just that, I've marked my first stitch. So right inside the same stitch, I'll be making 1 more single crochet. So that's 2. Into the next, I'm making 2 also. 1. Right inside, you pull out a loop, you pull through, that's 4. You have the first 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope you can see with this my colored yarn. So I have 4. So we'll go ahead, make 2 inside each stitches. So when we come to the end here, I'll tell you what next to do. Yeah, welcome back, guys. So here am I at the end of my second row. I have 12 stitches. So I'm back to where I attached my colored yarn, which is our first stitch. So this is what I do. I pull it. This is the colored yarn. I pull it inside the working loop. So when I work my next stitch here, the yarn is already inside. So it's going to move automatically to the first stitch. I hope you get that. So by the time I'm done with all my projects, I'll just pull it out. It's as simple as that. So the third row, this is what we are going to do. We are going to be making 1 single crochet right inside this first stitch, and the next one will be making 2. It's also an increase row. So 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets in this stitch. So let me go ahead and show you. This is the first stitch. Try as much as possible not to pick your colored yarn with your yarn. So right there, I'll make my first. I made my first single crochet. So this is the next stitch. I'll be making 2 single crochets right inside this stitch. So this is 1, 2. So we are going to repeat this 5 more times. So let's go again. I'm doing 1 here, then right here we'll be doing 2 single crochets. So go ahead, do your remaining stitches. So I'll meet you right here at the end. Yeah, so here I am at the end of my third row. the first row we have 6 stitches, the following row we had 12 stitches, so this third row will be having 18 stitches in total. So I'll be moving my colored yarn just like I did earlier, just pull through it, so I have it there. It's very simple. So the next row we'll be doing 2 single crochets, so I'll be doing 1 in the first, 1 in the next, then we have 2 in the third stitch. It's also an increase row. Let me show you that. Be making 1 single crochet, then another 1 single crochet in the next stitch, then in the third stitch we'll be having 2 single crochets together inside the same stitch, just like that. Let me show you one more time. 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, then 2 single crochets in this very next stitch. That's the third stitch. So we are going to repeat that 4 more times. 1 1 2, 1 1 2, 1 1 2, 1 1 2, just like that. Yeah, so here we are at the end of the 4th row. So we should be having 24. I passed my colored yarn inside already, so we should be having 24 stitches all round. So now we are done with increase rows. For the next 5 rows we'll be doing regular single crochet all round for 5 complete rows. Okay, for 5 complete rows we'll be doing single crochets, 24 single crochets round for 5 rows. So let me take you through that. So that's the first, second, there's the third, the 5th. So just go ahead and make your single crochets round, pull your colored yarn into your working loop, then you go again. So we are going to do this 5 times in total, 5 rows. So when you're done with your 5 rows, when I'm done with my 5 rows, I'll come back. Yeah, so welcome back, guys. This is what my project looks like at the end of the 9th row. We have 4 rows before we did our 5 regular rows of single crochet. So this is our first row, this is our first row of increase, 2 each, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet. Then these are regular rows, 1 2 3 4 5. So this is what my project looks like at the moment. I hope this is what your project is also looking like. So I'm going to move my colored yarn right there. So right now we'll be doing a decrease row. Yeah, we'll be giving it a shape. You know, it's a yarn skein. We are trying to get the shape. You know what the yarn skein looks like? It's kind of slimmer in the middle where they put the paper or the nylon. It's kind of smaller in that middle. So that is what we are doing next. So right now we'll be doing, remember the last row of increase, we did 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet. That was how we did it. 1 1, then increase. So we are going to repeat that in a reversed manner. So we are going to have 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, then we are going to reduce the next 2 single crochets. So this is how we are going to do it. So this is the first. Make sure, try as much as possible to make sure that your stitch is tight, so that when we put our fiber stuff in, we'll not be having it popping out. So this is the first. This is my second. So we are going to reduce now. So I prefer doing invisible reduction So this is what I do. You know, this is our loop. We have this our stitch. It has two loops. The one right in front of you and the one further, the one at the back, which is the back loop. This is the front loop. So we are going to pick in the next two stitches, they are front loops. Those are the two loops we are going to pick together, then reduce. So watch this. I'm going to pick the first one. Can you see that? I'm not going to pick my yarn, no. I'll go ahead into the second one. Pick the front loop. So can you see what I did? Let me do that again. So I'm going to pick my first stitch, the next stitch, the front loop. Then I bent my hook to move into the next stitch and pick up the front loop also. Then I pick my yarn, just like that. Then pull through those two loops. You can see. Then do my regular single crochet. We've reduced it to 1. This style is called invisible reduction. So we are going to go ahead, make 2 single crochets again. So we are going to have 1, 1 and 2. So we are going to reduce again. Going to the front loop of the next stitch, going to the front loop of the following stitch, pick up your yarn, pull out a loop. You have your 2 loops, pull through both, just as that. Let's do it one more time. The next one, you're picking your 2 loops. Don't forget, we have the first single crochet, then you're going to do the next one. That's 2. So now we are reducing. Pick the front loop. Can you see that? You can see the back loop is still there. Pick the front loop of the following one. That's 2. Together, pick up your yarn. Then you pull through. Make sure your stitch is tight. You know you are reducing here. So you pull through the 2 loops. Just like that. So go ahead and repeat that all around. I'll meet you at the end of the row. So here's what my project looks like after the reduction. It's curved a little. So the next 6 rows we are going to do regular stitches, regular single crochet round for the next 6 rows. So we are going to be having 18 stitches in total. So I've passed my working yarn, my colored yarn to my working loop. So just like that, this would be my first. Let me do that again. This is the first one. Regular single crochet, no reduction, no increasing at all. I'm just going to do regular single crochets all through. So here's my second, here's my third. So you just go ahead and make 6 regular rows. So I'll meet you at the end of my 6th row. Welcome back, guys. Yeah, we are almost done with our project. So this is what my project looks like. You can see it's smaller. So I'm going to move my colored yarn. I'm going to move it now. Just like that. So what we are going to do next, you know, this place is kind of big and we have this place smaller. So we are going to increase now. So we are going to have an increment row to go back to the size. So what we are going to do, you know, our reduction, we had 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, then we reduced. So now we are going to have 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, then we are going to increase 2. So we are going to have 1, 1, then we have 2 in the third. 1, 1, then we have 2. Just like that, just like we did in the beginning when we were increasing. We have 1 single crochet. So the next one we are going to have 2 right inside the same stitch. So that's 1. So 1 more inside the same stitch. Can you see that? So repeat that all round, then I'll meet you at the end of the row. So right there, I just finished my row. You can see I have an increase here at the last stitch, and I've moved my working collodion. So the next 5 rows, this is the last phase. The next 5 rows, just like we did at the beginning, at the bottom here, that we did 5 regular rows. So we are going to repeat the same thing. You know, it's just like 2 sides. This is the first side, the middle, then we are creating the other side. So we are going to do 5 regular rows of single crochet. Our stitches are now 24. We are back to what we had in the beginning, 24 stitches. So we are going to work 5 regular rows of single crochets, 5 regular rows. So at the end of the 5th row, I'll show you how we finish up our project. So this is what my work looks like, my project looks like right now. You can see it has taken form, it has taken shape already. So what we have left to do is just rows of reductions. What we are going to do is to reduce to have the form, the shape that we had in this beginning when we started. So we are just going to reduce it so that we can have the round shape. So what we are going to do now is 2 single crochets, then we join 2 together, 2 single crochets, join 2 together. Let me show you that in a minute. Yeah, so if you are working with your stitch marker, don't forget to be moving your stitch markers. So here is what we are going to do. So this is my first stitch. I'm going to make 1 single crochet right there. Remember to make sure that your stitch is tight. You can see, so that when we fill it up, we are not going to have the fibers coming out of the holes. So that's the first stitch. So here is the second, and for this we are going to reduce. I'm going to be picking 2 together, just like that, just like I taught you guys earlier. So like that, reduce. So we are going to repeat that all around. What we are going to do, we are going to stuff our project. You can see what it looks like. So we are going to stuff it up. Don't stuff it too hard, like don't make it too stuffed. At least make it soft and, you know, something you can play around with, not something that is very, very hard. So I'm just going to go ahead and stuff up my project. So just basically just put it right inside, right there. You can use your hook to just push it down, push your wheel down, just like that. So we have it like this. So you just go ahead and stuff up your project. So here is what my project looks like after stuffing it. So that was what I was trying to tell you. If your holes are actually big, you'll be able to see through the holes, that you'll be seeing the white stuffing through the holes. But you can see that my tension is tight, so that's why my hook is tight. So right now we are moving to the next row, and we are going to reduce again. So this row we are going to do 1 single crochet, then we reduce, 1 single crochet, we reduce. So let's just do that. So we have 1 single crochet, then we reduce, just as we've been doing before. Our front loop, just like that. So you are going to repeat that 5 more times. We'll be working our last row of reduction. Basically, this is our last row. So we are just going to reduce all through. Going to pick up the front loops like that. Pick it up, then work our regular single crochet stitch, just like that. Pick the next 2 loops, front loops. Don't forget, we are picking front loops. Then have 2 loops, then work your single crochet. So pick up the front loop, just like that, then you work your stitch. So just repeat that around. Yeah, so after the last reduction, this is what you can see, that the hole is almost invisible. So I'm just going to cut my yarn here. I'm going to leave a pretty long tail for sewing, but not too long. We don't have a big hole to close, so Just going to cut that there, and I'm just going to pull this out. So you can see our colored yarn. I'm going to pull it out here, just like I said in the beginning. You can see, very simple. So the work here is done. So what we are going to do now, we are just going to close up this end. And how are we going to use that? Do that. That is where our tapestry needle comes in. I'm going to yarn my needle, just like that. So you should have 6 stitches remaining. So I'm just going to pick up the front loop of each of the stitches. So starting from here, just pick that up. I'm not going to pull too tight. That's the first, the second, that's the third, the fourth, the fifth. We have the very last one right there. So I'm just going to pull tight. So this is what my work looks like. So I'm just going to make a knot, like just to tie off the end right here. Can you see that? Make sure it's tight. Then I'll go right inside, bring out my yarn anywhere just to hide my tail, just like that. To push this in so as not to have this big bump here. So right there. So I'm just going to play around with this tail just to hide it inside our project. One more time, then I'll cut off. Yeah, so the remaining, I'm cutting it off. Be careful not to cut your project. So yeah, so right there, just going to use my hand to just give it that shape right there. So tada, our yarn skein keychain is 90% done. So what is remaining is the decoration. So I have this. Normally I would have used this. I will just put the sticker, then practically I will just wrap it around like this. Can you see that? This is my keychain currently. You can see that it looks old. I've been using this for almost 2 years now. This is what it looks like. So I'll just do that, but in case you don't have this, so let me just show you how to use your regular paper yarn. So before we go ahead with that, you're just going to pick up any of the side that you want to be the edge. So you can pick the beginning, which is more finished, or this end. I'll be picking the beginning. The fact that is more finished and perfect. So that's where I'll be attaching this. So I'll be using this to open up this small ring here, just like this. Okay, so I'll be using this plier instead. I think I find it more easier. So I have this opened up already. So I'll just put it right inside any hole basically. And put it right in there. And just come out. So I just put it inside any stitch. So I will use my same plier to cover it up. So if there's any other means we can do this, please go ahead. But this is what I have, so this is what I am using. So if you have any other thing that you can use to open up and close this small ring, so just go ahead and do that. So when I'm done with this, I'll just turn it inside. So that side will be inside, and tada, we have this. Yeah, so we are almost done. Let's just decorate this. So I'll be using this cotton milk paper yarn to decorate this, but I think white will be finer here because this is dark. Let me look for, okay, yeah, I found this. So I think I'll be using this because this is a dark yarn. I think the black will be too, I don't know. I just feel I'll be okay using the lighter one. So just open. So this is where we have, so you just cut out, basically you just cut out where you want. So this is actually where I got the inspiration of my own creation. Can you see that? This I have it here, me cutting, stretch, I have it here. So this is where I got the inspiration. This was what I've been using before, and I felt okay, let me customize it, and I have my name on it. So back to this. This thing you want to cut out, maybe you want the milk cotton and the name up there, or you want the bowl, anyone you want, just go ahead. I'll be cutting, okay, for the length, let me cut this here. Then we're going to have this. So I want the milk cotton, then the bull or the cow, I don't know. So I'm just cutting that out. Yeah, right there. So here's my keychain. So let me see the length I'll be needing. So I'll be wrapping it round like this. Can you see right in the middle where we reduced and did 6 regular rows? So that's where we're going to be adding it. Let me see the measure. Okay, let me just cut a little off at the end. Yeah, so I think we are good. Then let me cut off the design. Yeah, so I will just, let me put all of this aside. Just going to use my glue, any glue you have. If you have hot glue, just go ahead and use it. So I'm not going to put it all around everything. I think it's going to mess it up. So I'll just put it right at the beginning here. But if you want to put it all around, it's all yours. You can go ahead and do that. So this is the head. Just look at your paper. Okay, this is the head. We're having it that way. So right there. Oops, I have this pouring out already. So right there, you just wrap around. I think I should have trimmed this a little more. Let me trim this. Yeah, so I just reduced the down part of our yarn, of our paper. So I'll just go ahead, place it here, then I'll just wrap it, make sure it's tight to give it that fitting. Yeah, right there. Try and make sure it is neat. I think this is too long. Let me just cut this off. So right there at the end, I'm going to apply my glue. Sorry. So right here. I'm going to add more. So just go ahead and do yours. Any paper yarn you can find, just go ahead and use it. And yes, this is what this looks like. Yeah, our project is finished. So this is what our project looks like right here. So pretty, look at that, so beautiful and cute. Yeah, I actually use this for I give my customers as gifts, and I sell them. So you can go ahead, give your customers as gift, give your loved ones, any which way. And this is the one I've been using like for almost 2 years now. You can see it actually looks rough, but trust me, this is my favorite key. That you can see my bunch of keys. So yeah, Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for staying with me to the very, very end. If you find this video useful, kindly give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And please, if you have any questions, kindly drop it in the comment section. I'm going to definitely reply you. Thank you so much. I love you. Bye.